fruits, ball it. Your boyfriend's got a cauliflower, and I'm a... So sue me, who you, Judge Judy? Stacking the rubies, if life was a movie, then you could just call me the Goonies. You're not relevant, trolling on the internet, no respect. Haven't moved out of your parents' basement yet. Big neck, coming with the beat that's gonna break your neck.
Yeah, you can hear me now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you like it loud, we can make it loud. Can you hold it down? 'Cause we can hold it down. Yeah, you can hear me now. Coming to your city, sending bass into your earlobes, like your bleached out hairdos. We glowing in the dark, got the spark, about to flare the fuse. That's just how we do. Geronimo, parachute, skydiving off your parents' roof. Crew, saw the magician's assistant in half, like who the are you? Who the are you? Who the are we? We be the dudes who just come over to water the lawn. We don't say hi, we just come over to walk your dog. We nice like that, we super nice like that.
You can hear me now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you like it loud, we can make it loud.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Jets going up against the Texans. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this week's 12 matchup.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, it's week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Jets and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention. First carry now. This is Hill. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
All right, here we go. They run it again with Hill. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Bernardrick McKinney in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep is Philip Dorsett. And it's fielded at the 34. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And it's the best possible spot to begin a drive. First and goal at the 1-yard line. And now the offense operates in the red zone. First down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. New York set to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession and try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Back to throw. They set up the screen to Hill. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They'll look to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Dorsett. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Texans take possession. So here comes the guy, Charles, I think you'd agree. He's getting more comfortable, but he still has some stuff to prove at this level.
Still has things to prove, but the expectation level has really jumped for him. He's shown so much potential along the way. Now people want to know, will he take it to the next level and bring his team along with that?
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So this game's not very far along. He's already found the end zone once, and now he started this drive with another big gain, another first down run. I've got to wonder if I'm the defensive coordinator, what do I do in this situation? It's only the first quarter, but do I go ahead and sell out and try and slow him down and make him beat me another way? Because the risk is if I don't, he ends up having a monster game.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They come up in an offset eye. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And some space here. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
So let me make sure I have this right. He's already found the end zone once, and now he's ripped off a big chunk of yardage here on this one. His confidence is awfully high. So now I've got to put myself in the shoes of the defensive coordinator. Do I go ahead and sell out to try and stop him and force him to do something different? Or do I risk him having a big monster day against my defense?
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Left side, it's Dorsett. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Philip Dorsett, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Here's the option going right. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer, because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they cover things down for him, because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Bernardrick McKinney in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Dorsett on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. That one complete to Anderson. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here with Miller. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Miller, the lone setback. They'll drop the throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
No, check. Patriots. Leopard.
Looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll set up a throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Normally he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
3rd and 4.
Let's go! Detroit!
And the wideout in motion. Back to throw again. And able to find Dorsett. A good pickup there at 22.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So now it's 1st and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the 1st half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd.
Here we go.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
So that drive in total 8 plays, and it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. New York set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Again, it's Hill. And some room to maneuver. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. Back to throw now on first down. Right side, there's Decker. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This is caught by Antonio Brown. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And to the 12, that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Miller, the lone setback. They'll drop to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Let's see what they go to here on 3rd down and 6.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A gain of 13 and also the first down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Fresh set of downs here.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Here we go now.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And really just a heck of a catch. That's a really good receiver making a nice play.
And against a really good defensive back. Right there together and over the top, the receiver wins the battle.
So after that big play, now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Miller, the lone setback. They'll look to throw here on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you now to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, LR.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Texans are happy to be in front, and they'll look to play another solid half of football. The Jets know it's always hard to come in and get a win on the road, but they're not out of this one yet. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Pick it up early in the first. Miller's going to take it off the right side. He'll take it in for the touchdown. He'll take the early advantage. Texans line up at the 26. The catch is made after a quick pass, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. The lead now at 14. Third down from inside the 30. Completion will be made here to a wide-open man, and it's going to end up going for a gain of 22. Continuing on the drive, QB sneak is on here, and he goes in for the score, which takes the lead to 21. Jets on offense midway through the second. Hill's got it on the run. He'll pick up more than 30 yards on the play. The offense would later throw a pick to end the drive.
And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. We focus our attention now on the Jets defense. They are down on the scoreboard as we begin the second half and looking to avoid a bigger deficit.
And I could just hear the coaches now. I can hear the head coach. Guys, first 5 minutes. First series of the second half. Offense or defense, you've got to set the tone.
They'll try to set that tone here.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Texans send the punter out. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. With it is Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jets take possession. And heading back onto the field now, the Texans defense.
And now Big Mo's wearing a shirt of their color. They're hoping to continue that momentum in their direction, but maybe another pick.
Who's Big Mo? He's momentum, right?
Momentum. And right now, he's hugging them.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now it's 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it.
Hill's hit, and he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now on third, blitz coming, and down he goes. And that'll bring up fourth down on the big sack with a loss of 5. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. This is fielded at the 27. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Barry Church, the strong safety, the one to get him down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Miller, the lone setback. He's going to get the football. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. They're going to look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sheldon Richardson. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
They'll set up a throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. New York set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So second down, 3 yards to go now.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
Here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. There goes Larry Fitzgerald. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Every time I see a hitch pattern dropped, I go back to the combine because there's a drill that they use all the time that's called the gauntlet drill, where a receiver catches the ball, just works his way straight down the line and catches it from different sides. And the problem with that drill is that you don't actually have to secure the catch. You just kind of catch it, drop it immediately, and keep moving. And sometimes that shows up on plays like this. With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And this Texans defense stands tall. And a look now at Lamar Miller. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the corner, Tremaine Brock. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And New York set to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
To Decker over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Well, they've gone backwards so far in this series, 3rd and 13. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. 10 yards still left on 2nd down.
Here we go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got Fitzgerald. Pass. There goes Larry Fitzgerald. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Larry Fitzgerald, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the interception by the Jets D leads to a touchdown.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. 2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. second down, and the offense needing 5 yards.
Here we go now.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And he motions the wide receiver. Back to throw here. And able to find Dorsett. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
So 3rd and 15 and an extra defensive back in the game now.
Flooding the passing lanes.
He finds his target, Fuller. Now hang on here, timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. A first down carry now for Miller. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
So 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. Miller, the lone setback. And they'll give it to him here. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right?
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 68 yards. They'll come up with split backs in the backfield. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Eric Decker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And he's got it up and through. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Miller, the lone setback. They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's complete to Fuller. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to throw now on first down. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Houston, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Washington Redskins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.